Здравейте отново! This is the full Bulgarian course A2, стъпка по стъпка. Да продължим! Let's continue. So, let us see how we form the imperative. Учете български. Study Bulgarian. Гледайте български филми. Watch Bulgarian films. Then a couple of more verbs. And we'll see the positive and negative imperatives. Слушам, to listen. Слушай, слушайте. Не слушай, не слушайте. Of course, we only have two forms when we're talking about the imperative. The second person, singular and plural. Ти, вие. Вечерям. Вечеряй, вечеряйте. Не вечеряй, не вечеряйте. Играя. Играй, играйте. Не играй, не играйте. The next two form the imperative in a slightly different way. Чета, чети, четете. Не чети, не четете. Okay, we don't have the и кратко at the end. We have и. Слушай, чети. Работя, работи, работете. Не работи, не работете. And now you should fill in the blanks with the appropriate verb from the box in the imperative. Вечеряйте преди 7 часа. Глаголът е вечерям. The verb is вечерям.
Okay. Пийте.
Perfect. Пийте.
2 литра вода всеки ден. Говорете български по-често. Често is...
Often. По-често. More often.
Спете 8 часа всяка нощ.
8 часа.
Слушайте новини и програми на български език по радиото. Гледайте български филми. Четете книги и списания на български. Учете чужди езици. Носете удобни обувки. Ходете пеша до офиса или карайте колело. Тичайте в парка през уикенда. Работете бързо. Няма време за почивка. Мислете, после говорете. Вървете направо. Чакайте автобус 120 тук.
Okay, perfect. Now we are going to continue with more imperatives, which, however, will distinguish between the two forms of verbs. So again, the perfective, imperfective. Are we talking about a one-off action or a continuous or repeated action? For example, a pair of verbs is davam, dam, which means to give. Davam is what we use in the present simple. It is the imperfective. It is a process. Сега давам учебник на Алекс. But dam, which is the perfective, a one-off finished action, is what we would use, for example, in the future. Утре ще ти дам учебника. Tomorrow I will give you the textbook, and that will be it. So, to make the imperative from davam, давай, давайте. It means give, but then давай also means like go on, like go ahead. But дай, дайте, from the verb dam. So in other words, you have to think about what you want to say. Daj, if you want to say like give me something in particular in this particular moment, you will say daj mi učebnika, give me the textbook. But when we say давай, for example, to encourage someone, it's like go on. This is a continuous action. For example, someone is running and we want to encourage them. We will be like давай. Like, go on. Keep giving, literally. Now, remember this. When we make the negative imperative, we can only use the imperfective form of the verb. There is no way we can say не дай, не дайте. No. Не давай, не давайте. For example, you can tell me дай ми учебника, and then you can change your mind. You suddenly decide you don't want to learn Bulgarian. And you say, не ми давай учебника. Дай ми го, не ми го давай. Дай, не давай. Okay, another pair. Казвам, кажа. To say. Казвам. Сега ви казвам как се използва повелителното наклонение. Sorry about this expression. It just means the imperative mode. Но утре ще кажа на Алекс да плати сметката. I will say something in particular tomorrow. So, to make the imperative, depending on what we want to say, normally we would say кажи when you want someone to say something in particular. Кажи на иглика да млъкне. Tell иглика to shut up. Кажете. But казвай, казвайте is the long process of saying. We would use that, for example, if you like, I won't tell you, like I thought of telling you something, but I won't. And I'll be like, казвай, come on, be talking, be saying. But in the negative, only the imperfective. Не казвай, не казвайте. Кажи ми колко беше сметката. Tell me how much the bill was. Не ми казвай. Don't tell me. Кажи ми, не ми казвай. Okay, another pair. Спирам, спра. To stop. So usually we would say спри, спрете, stop. Okay, single action. Perfective. Спирай, спирайте. For example, we use спирам to park the car. So you can say something like не спирайте пред магазина. Or, yeah, this is the negative, but спирай пред магазина. Like park in front of the shop, like every day. Make it a habit. Then we would use спирам, not спра. The negative, however, always with спирам. Не спирай колата пред магазина, like never do or don't do in this particular instance. It doesn't matter. Then, some pairs of verbs are formed in a different way. For instance, правя, направя. Правя is the imperfective, a long or repeated action. Направя is to do something from start to finish, to perform some action. So the difference between them is just the prefix na. Прави, правете, направи, направете. Again, depending on what we want to say. For example, I want to tell Alex to make the pancakes with more milk, like always. Прави палачинките с повече мляко. But do your homework. Направи си домашното. Okay? Beginning to end. Just now. Направи. However, in the negative, always, не прави. Не правете. Не прави това. This is very commonly used. Don't do that. Не прави това. Then, пиша, напиша. They are formed in the same way. Пиша is the process or repeated action. Напиша is the writing of a particular thing. Пиши, пишете. For example, if I want to tell you that your handwritten Bulgarian is not very clear, I'll say пиши по-ясно. Write more clearly, in general.
I wish I could.
But if I want to say write your homework, it will be напиши си домашното. However, in the negative, always не пиши, не пишете. Добре, не го пиши. Don't write it. Okay, now let's make negatives from the positives. We have a positive imperative and you have to make a negative. In this case, the positive is the perfective verb, the one-off action, which is usually what we want, like when we're using the imperative, we want a particular action to be completed at this particular time. So this is really the version we would use the most often. For example, станете, stand up. Не ставайте, don't stand up.
Обадете се, не се обаждайте.
Да.
Вземете, не...
Вземете.
Вземете, не взимайте. Дайте, не давайте. Продайте, не продавайте. Кажете, не казвайте. Отворете, не отваряйте. Затворете, не затваряйте. Спрете, не спирайте. Върнете се, не се връщайте.
Не се връщайте.
Платете, не плащайте. Nice. Тръгнете, не тръгвайте. Легнете си, не си лягайте. Останете, не оставайте. Срещнете се, не се срещайте. Изпратете, не изпращайте. Започнете, не започвайте. Напишете, не пишете. Направете, направете, не правете.
Okay, great. Just something else I would like to mention is when we have the reflexive verbs or the ones that end in se, върнете се, come back. When we make the negative, we change the order. Върнете се, не се връщайте. Легнете си, go to bed, не си лягайте. Срещнете се, не се срещайте. Изморен ли си? Are you tired?
Да.
Okay, let's stop here, да спрем тук, and we'll continue next time.
Добре.
Довиждане!
Довиждане, чао.